Good morning, I should say, to Pauline, Dr. Pauline Crawford, for joining us today, the ambassador of magical conversations. At this point, I'm not going to carry on. I actually just want Pauline to tell me everything she can in the next 10 minutes about magical conversations. I've known Pauline a long time, so we don't need an introduction, do we, Pauline?
Absolutely not, no. We
On the other hand, I think you do, as the audience. I would strongly suggest that we all learn in the next 10 minutes about magical conversations and how that can shape our world going forward. And more importantly, I want her to explain equality versus harmony. There's a lot going on there. Over to you, Pauline.
Thank you, Krista. This is a wonderful opportunity, and magical conversations seem to really click into people's minds something that they're not quite sure what it is, but they want it. So that's really where it all happened. It was about 15 years ago. I was working in London. I was dealing with lots of clients, helping them to be confident and talk to each other and have conversations. And the idea of it being a magical conversation came up. So I tried it out, even on men and women in the law profession. And all of them said, wow, we need that, even with not knowing what it was. So I started engaging in the idea that magical conversations were a space between us where there was no judgment. Hey, in this world today, where do we have conversations where there's no judgment? And you might be thinking, well, how to make that work? Well, it's about sharing your experiences in a safe space where we each listen to each other. Now, that's always a challenge. And as we know, men and women are different. And that's one of my favorite subjects. So I'm a gender dynamics intelligence expert, mentor to leaders. And what that means is that we understand the differences. But going back to the magical conversations, we know that women love to talk, don't we?
Yes, they do. Yes, they
And
do.
we
Concur.
love to do business as well. And one of the greatest things I've seen in the last 30 years working with men and women bring life to work. Women bring life to work because we can't separate it. Men have a greater ability to separate work and life, and we can go into that. But let's stay with women because it's International Women's Day month. And it's really important, I believe, that we take this magical conversation idea and we start writing a new script. So that's what I'm really excited about because it's not women dominating men, it's not women running the world. But I think we now need time where women come together and we write a script which men applaud and join us. And I've done a lot of work with men. I've interviewed many men and I've said to them, how do you feel about being a man? How do women work together with men? And one of the key things is, and this is lovely, they always say, we love working with women, but they're very complex, aren't they? And they do talk a lot. So it's not about not talking, it's about understanding when to tune in, when to be aware. It's about shared awareness. And I just think now in 2022, in this month, in this year, we have an opportunity to change things because everything has changed. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, if anything, to go by the last 2 years and what we've all been through, it's not individually, this has gone globally. And I find that women now have, if you like, I think you might agree with me, have taken the role and the lead into finding out their own space and becoming their own person. So, would you actually say, I mean, I love the quote, it's I'm unique, just like you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it is that we are each unique individuals. We've all got an individual fingerprint. We know that. And yet we know there are similarities. So it's about similarities and differences. So our similarities, we're all human beings. Differences, we're different ages, we're different generations, we're different preferences, sexual preferences, we're different cultures, different religions, different experiences. Some of us have had a very blessed life, which is great. Some of us have had traumatic lives. All of those experiences come together. But how do we share them? How do we share them from a female perspective? And it's not about not men. In my groups, we have wonderful wise men who really understand that this is about coming together. It's creating a new symphony for life. And that's really what I'm so excited about. but it's it's very much being in the moment of what is unknown. We know that we live in a world where anything could change. So when anybody says, "Oh, well, that's not possible because blah blah blah," I say, "Well, 2 years ago we thought it was impossible to have a world change through a pandemic. Now we all know that. We're all on screens together, we're working from home, we're doing things in totally different ways, but we still got to connect. And it's this connectivity that women come from a very nurturing, internal, emotional integrity. So my pitch to women is to rewrite the script of business with majoring on love and trust and respect and commit and compassion and really listening to each other. Because one of the things we need to do as women is to understand each other, which is a journey in itself, as I think you'll agree.
Well, this is about women shaping, isn't it? And actually creating the harmony that we desire in
Absolutely.
this world. And I'm quoting you here, but it's like, and then we bring our men along to join us.
Yes,
I know from my personal experience that I'm the one that creates the buzz. I'm the one that says we're going to go here. I'm the one that books the table and holds the party and goes to the party and brings the party. All that sort of side of it. We're great at organizing. We are great at pulling people together as a
we are.
species.
And,
Women,
and,
I'm
and
talking
that's
in
why
general.
we need to value that. But we need
Yes.
to, if you like, sell the idea to men. Because one of the things in my conversations with men is they said, well, if I said, what would you advise women to do in order for you to be the man you are? And they all said, let me be me. And I think a lot of women, and I've been in that state as well. I'm sure oh, well, I'm going to change him because I think he should do something different. It's not about allowing them to continue the world that they have built, but to recognize that they did build the world till now, and now it's different. And I know many, 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 many thousands of men who really want to step into this new space. But for them, equality is not the same as what we had to fight for. So we've done the reason I'm talking a lot this month about goodbye equality, hello harmony, is that I'm not saying equality is bad. I think equality has been fantastic. We have fought for the vote. We have fought to get into the boardroom. We have done that battle. Now it's time to bring what is truly female into the party: the nurturing, the love, the fun, the laughter, the curiosity, the imagination. We can do all the operational bit, all the strategic bit, but we bring in what you said, we organize the parties, but men like to come along. But if we tell them, no, no, I'm going to control you, that's not going to go down so well. So this is where the magical conversation is three simple rules. Firstly, no judgment and trying not to have assumptions. So you come to the conversation with in my experience of what we're talking about, and it could be a very difficult conversation, but in my experience of this difficult topic, this is how I see it. This is what it means to me. Listen, share. So the second rule is no anger. Lots of laughter and passion and energy, but don't get angry because once you get angry, you slap somebody down,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
gone. The third one is no coercion. So don't try and control what the outcome is because that's quite a male aspect. Well, what are we going to do next? Say, well, in this time, while we're sharing, let's just grow the field, be creative, see what shoots are there. Then stop the conversation, go away, have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee, and then come back and say, okay, what have we found out? What can we do now together? And I work with clients all over the world, and they love it when they get into that magical conversation culture. People are eager because they know it's safe to share, and they're not going to be told, "Oh, don't be silly. We can't do that." So I think in the world of women who are extremely entrepreneurial now, it's about opportunity seeking, not problem solving. And generally, men are very problem solving, and women are potentially opportunity seekers. You are, I am. And we can together create authentic harmony So it's not about not inviting men, it's about starting from a female perspective and inviting men. And those that come will be the ones who are wanting to be there.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I want to actually just draw on one point. Thank you for those three nuggets as well. I also think being honest really, really helps in any conversation. And if you share how you feel, it kind of drives and helps a lot with any of your differences. And you can resolve things very quickly when you're being honest and open, as opposed to, like you said, controlling and coercing and directioning, whatever it is, channeling to your own agenda. But on that note, you've heard it first. This is all about authentic harmony, guys. Thank you so much, Pauline, for your time. Dr. Pauline Crawford, I really appreciate it. And I look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been fantastic. In fact, magical.
Too right.